but when you look at the downloads, it actually downloads
So you made me
Black Ops, and it downloads
Modern Warfare?
Modern Warfare 3.
3, yeah.
The campaign.
Don't worry about Modern Warfare. You can uninstall that because you don't need to play that right now. But
I mean, I want to. Like,
well,
I like playing COD campaign.
uninstall 1. That way you have space, unless you have like an extra whole bunch of space for it. But
Oh, my hard drive is like 2 terabytes.
Excuse me.
I have like 1.6 terabytes left. I don't need
well, I don't have all that luxury. I think I had that on my laptop, on my gaming laptop, but not on my desktop.
No.
But the Black Ops 6 campaign?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I saw Bill Clinton.
Yes! And I hated the beginning of that mission because they're trying to dodge the freaking Secret Service agents.
Yeah.
I hated that. I was like, this is annoying. But then once I got past that part, shit got real.
Yeah, I got. Well, it's funny. I don't know how I saw it, but that end of that mission with the motorcycles,
Bruh.
someone leaked that footage months ago. I was like, I've seen this before.
Oh, I thought that part would be longer.
Yeah,
the motorcycle part.
Yeah, it was very short.
It was really short. I was like, oh, this is awesome. I got a pistol, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden the SWAT truck shows up. I'm like, I was shooting at the girl too, because I didn't realize that we were supposed to jump in there. So I'm thinking that she's over there. Like, I didn't even think it was her. I just thought it was somebody just leaning out to shoot at us. So I'm over there shooting at her. And then eventually I shoot the guy there and they're like, press A to jump. I'm like, oh, jump. Oops, my bad.
Yeah, I did have to make some adjustments to my video card. It runs it really well, even on an older machine that I have. Mm-hmm. I put it in 2K resolution, 2K 1440. Running at I'm playing on a television, so I'm like capped at 60 hertz, which is okay. It's fine. It's not bad, but I was like, maybe I should get me a better. It's like I was thinking about buying a gaming monitor and like remove
the Asus Tough Gaming one is on sale right now.
Oh, okay.
They had Best Buy had like a 3-day gaming sale.
Yeah, I've been thinking about like trying to set up and like live stream my video gaming and stuff like that, and just like do it once a week, like on a Saturday.
I'll never talk about it on a different podcast, because right now we're supposed to start a whole nother podcast, and then right over here we're talking like we're on a podcast for gaming, even though technically
it's not about gaming, man.
This is not about. I mean,
although,
technically it could be.
Well, today's topic is 4K edited.
So you know what? Fuck it. Let's just keep it as part of this episode.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Welcome to the episode.
Yeah.
Welcome to ISO Insiders. Sorry, we got distracted by Call of Duty 6 campaign, which we both loved. Did you do the next mission after in Iraq?
Yes. I did the weird open world.
Yes. How long did that take you?
Well, it didn't take me long because I'm used to that type of gameplay, especially in PC stuff. So
yeah, I mean, I'm used to it too. But that one mission took me because I did every single objective.
Yes,
I did all the objectives, and it took me I want to say 2 hours.
Yeah, roughly. For me.
I looked up at the time and it was like 4 a.m, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I need to get off this thing.
I did like that aspect of it. It's very interesting. They're trying to do that, and I guess I'm assuming that's part of like. I don't play the multiplayer, so I'm assuming this is what the multiplayer is like.
So
it's like
Modern Warfare 3 actually does have open world aspects.
Okay.
Like it's a big chunk of it. So it's like, here's the mission, pick your weapons, pick the way that you want to play it.
Oh, okay.
So that was a big part of Modern Warfare 3.
Oh, I was sniping everything.
See, I started off sniping.
And I kept the RPG, and I didn't even clear out camps. I just destroyed the objective and left.
Oh, no. I made sure to go in and actually clear objectives. Like I went and actually clean up the camp. Because you can get the hidden caches and stuff. Did you get all the audio recordings?
I don't know if I did go in afterwards and like get stuff. Mm-hmm. But not all of them. So
I went because I wanted to get the audio recordings to hear more about the experiments that were happening. So I made sure to start off with the sniper rifles, and they keep my AI would be like, no, don't take the shot. I'm like, screw you, I'm taking a shot. And then shoot them and still jump in and start like lighting them up. Sometimes, I think at one point I unlocked the mortar strike. So I would drop the mortar strike on the heavy armor.
I do have that, and I have the helicopter, and then
I got the helicopter last.
Yeah, but anyway, that's gaming.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I gave it 4K, so boom.
Yeah. I played in 2K, but so we're here to talk about the last episode that we did, which we talked about the DJI drone S3, or is it 3S? 3S. Okay, and that one, if you've been paying attention to the episode on YouTube, you see it's in 4K. Mm-hmm. And it's actually in true 4K, not YouTube's 4K.
So just to be clear, we filmed that
in true 4K.
In true 4K with the Blackmagic Cinema 4Ks, right?
Yes.
Pocket Cinema 4Ks.
Yeah, these cameras that you guys see us on, they're the older first generation Cinema Pocket Blackmagic cameras. They're like made for like filmmakers, yada, budget stuff. Budget.
Which personally, I'm not a fan of because there is no autofocus.
Right.
Which makes it annoying.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You do, like, for these type of setups, you do, I think it lends itself, but you have to know ahead of time. You can't really move too far out.
Right. You got to adjust the depth of field. You got to make sure. This is why having an assistant comes in handy, but filming these on a Sunday makes it so that, we're really doing this solo.
Right.
Together. So.
And I think that's why it's sorry for that noise, whatever that is. Probably my phone. Hold on.
Oh, Lance. Come on, bro.
Didn't mute everything.
We are on air, and you over here got your notifications going off?
We did a faux pas.
No, you did a faux pas, not me. I am on vibrate.
Great. I silence everything from my watch.
Oh, aren't you fancy, sir?
Yes.
Is that an Apple Watch?
No, this is the Pixel Watch.
Oh, I have not seen one of those in person.
Yeah, well, this is the older version.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
OLED screen.
I thought it was a regular watch this entire time. I know.
No.
Wow.
it looks that way. It looks that way.
I'm gonna still get the Galaxy S, whatever the latest one is, like the 6 or something like that. Because I was rocking the S3, and the S3 no longer works with my cell phone. They stopped supporting it.
Oh.
Yeah, that was very annoying.
I have 2 Galaxy, but it's not. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about why we did it. It was just
why we filmed it in 4K instead of filming it in 1080.
Right, but the funny part is we did film it in 1080. So what we're using here in the studio is a mixture of 4K cameras and then 1080p recording equipment. Like, so we use the ATEM Mini SDI. Let me see here. Mini SDI ISO Extreme. It's a lot.
Bruh, the amount of time it's taking you to type this in, we could have just taken one of the cameras and pointed to the one that we have in the studio.
In the studio. But this thing, brand new, is like $1,500.
Good
right?
Lord.
Yeah, it is expensive.
Is it worth it?
Oh, actually, it's $1,300 on B&H. Or if you look around. Oh, so this is the HDMI version. That's why it's cheaper.
Not the SDI version.
The SDI version. Let's see, how much is the SDI?
There goes the $1,500 that you were talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
So $1,500. The cool thing about what you get as extra on the SDI version is you get 4 outputs.
Well,
instead of 2 outputs.
How about this? For those people who may not know, what is the difference between HDMI and SDI?
So SDI, they're using 3. This is SDI 3G. There's also 6G, 12G, and all the other G's up. So the G stands for generation, and for 3G, it would handle pretty much HDMI 1080p. Up to like whatever frame rate you can throw at it, it will do it. And it's what is called a BNC connector. So it's like it's kind of like remember the old school copper cable thing you plug into the back of the TV, the antennas.
Yeah, the coaxial cables.
Pretty much, that's what it is. Except the cool thing about these, they're cheaper and you can run them over a very long distance without needing to power them.
And you can transfer video and audio signal over these?
And they're bidirectional. So you can send and receive.
Okay, cool.
And, then it's a really cool, that's just the cables. And the cool thing is you plug them in and they lock. So they don't fall out.
Like HDMI cables.
Like HDMI cables, right.
Yeah.
And you can't really break them. I mean, you could.
No, you could definitely break those.
Yeah.
It's like, you can definitely break, but you have to really work at it.
You have to really, yeah. And the way we have everything set up is we have this as kind of like our brains. Well, that's like a whole other episode to like explain this whole ecosystem because that's going to require diagrams and all this other shit.
Do not put me to sleep.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. That we will talk about it in one of those episodes, but not this one. But
remind me to bring a pillow for that.
Yeah, we'll have a guest on for that actually. Yeah. Well, we'll have a guest on before, and then it'll be an explanation afterwards. But anyway, so the workflow is we record everything in 1080p, 24 frames per second.
Mm-hmm.
That's our choice of like frame rate and stuff like that. So we have that like really cool cinematic look and it looks really, and we're talking heads. It's not like we're doing sports or whatever.
No.
So it's like, and the way this records everything is in this isolation or ISO, where it's like everything is all recorded at the same time. So there's no audio drift, there's no video drift, where it's like everything is in lockstep because of a time code.
Yeah.
And I get a bunch of files, and then I go into Premiere, I put everything together. I'm not gonna go through that and like just do my thing. And that's pretty much what I did with that episode. I edited it like I would normally edit the 1080p version. And
was it harder to work with the 4K version because you have bigger file sizes?
So, not for me.
And it's because you have a powerhouse of a computer.
So this laptop that I have, it's a $4,000 laptop, right? It is the let me see here if I can look into my
Very expensive.
It's very expensive. It is a M2 Max.
Does that say 64 gigs of memory?
That's 64 gigs of RAM, or random access memory.
Jesus.
So that's unified memory, right? And it's kind of hard to see because it's so damn small, but that's just how they represent this stuff. And the cool thing about this is like it's the latest Thunderbolt 4 connection, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, this is not a 4K laptop.
What's the screen resolution?
I can't tell you. I don't know what it is. I know it's Retina display, so I think it's above 4K.
Maybe 2K?
No, I think it's above it, actually. I think it's like a 5K resolution or something like that. It's weird. I don't know. It's because it's a 4:3 ratio for the monitor. So it's like for the stuff. But the challenge that I ran into, it's easy enough to record in 4K from your cameras, right?
Yeah.
The challenge I ran into was, well, we also include our laptop screens in our recordings.
True.
How do you get 4K out of a laptop, right? Well, you need a 4K laptop, which we discovered was your work laptop and not your gaming laptop.
Which is so surprising because I thought it was the other way around. I thought my work laptop was 1080 and my gaming laptop was 4K. And we're like, nope, it's the other way around. I was like, I know one of these is 4K, damn it.
Right. And when I say 4K, there are people who get confused about the resolution of 4K, right? So 4K is 4 times the resolution of 1080p.
Correct.
So you just add that up. I think it's like 4032.
It's like 3840 by... There's actually 2 versions of 4K.
There's like a
3840 by... whatever.
Yeah, 4K. Let's see, someone get the numbers correct. See, like I say, it's like 2160.
2160p.
They consider that 4K, but it's like Ultra HD, really.
If you ever go into YouTube and you have the premium edition and then you go into the resolution, you'll see 2160.
Haha, you gotta pay.
Yeah. Well, I'll pay for my YouTube Premium ad-free experience. Thank you very much.
So 4K, according to Wikipedia, is 3840 by 2160.
Ah, yes.
At 16:9 aspect ratio.
Oh, and look at the other part.
Where? Which
the dominant 4K standard, whereas the movie projection industry uses 4096 by 2160. So that's
Jesus
the difference.
Christ.
So 3840, like my laptop, is 3840 by 2160.
Yeah.
But I know that, I think one of my cameras can actually shoot in 4096 by 2160.
Right. That's if you're, I wouldn't say do that. Do that if you're getting paid well.
I mean, is there a noticeable difference? I don't think there is, honestly.
Yes. So,
is there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so one of the biggest thing you get out of having a 4K file is, one, they're really large, and
True.
2, you now get to punch in way closer to your subject and without losing resolution. You don't lose any details and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, that's standard what I would do when I was asking the question about the 3840 versus the 4096, if there was a big difference between those two. But no. When I shoot,
besides that, I mean, the only thing that's different is like
it's like a couple
information.
I think it's like not that much of a different amount of pixels. But when I shoot 4K, no, I do the same thing you do. Like, especially if it's a 1080p export, no, I will, for punch-ins to break up the shot. Of course, there's no loss of quality really. So no, I completely agree with you. Filming in 4K, even if I know my export is going to be 1080, and just being able to punch in, because the old version of that was film in 1080 and then punch into 720, where when you punched into 720, you still have that you'd have a softer look,
right?
Because you don't have as much information. So yeah, I completely understand that.
Yeah, and this is for like people who are listening too. They may not know why that's important or not, but it's that's if you're going to be doing this other thing, and and like I said, one of the biggest issues was like, well, how do we get a 4K signal from a laptop into the stuff? And that's where apparently we had 4K HDMI splitters laying around the studio. Didn't even know because they were so cheap.
I mean, we have a lot of things laying around the studio that we keep discovering years after the fact that we end up using, and we're just like, oh, we had this the entire time.
Right.
We should probably use it.
So what I did was I split that signal, one into my laptop to OBS and recorded that in 4K. And then another one went out back to the ATEM. And then that allowed me to then, after I've edited everything, because I nest everything in Premiere Pro, all I have to do is replace the nested part and then change the sequence resolution. So that does take more time.
For people who don't know what nesting is, because not everybody is experienced in like
Premiere
or Final Cut.
But
how would you explain nesting?
So nesting is like a non-destructive way of editing. So say you, and I'm specific to talk about Premiere Pro. You get all your files in, organize it however you like to organize it, and then you create a sequence from that particular file by right-clicking on it and everything like that. What that does is, technically it's not nested, but what I do is I create each file its own sequence, and then because everything is in time code lockstep, I don't have to worry about adjusting wherever things go. And then I create another sequence from one of the sequences. I just duplicate it and then rename it and then remove the tracks. And then I bring in the sequence into that sequence. Now it's called nesting. So you're just kind of like taking your file, put it in the sequence, and then taking that sequence and put it into another sequence.
So for those of you who are familiar with After Effects, pre-compose is actually the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, pre-comps, because I've been working with After Effects since like 20 years now.
Yeah.
So
and
I live in After Effects. That's a pre-compose thing. It's the same thing. Lance, I thought you said you had silenced your stuff. Look at that. Look at that. You have your phone going off
over there
during the podcast.
I don't even know where it is.
Google Pixel fail. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But what ends up happening is it means that then you can make changes in your nested sequence and it will affect the overall sequence immediately. So you can put in things like lower thirds, color correction, audio corrections, titles, whatever.
And if you need to make changes to the actual individual file, like the original file, you can just do that after the fact.
Right. And that's exactly what I did. I just I brought in my 4K footage, replaced all of them. Now, I would say, please make sure all your other stuff is also that can support a 4K sequence, meaning your lower thirds, your on-screen watermarks, those type of things. Because if they don't, they're going to look real tiny. So I had to remake all of that stuff, not realize, oh shit, yeah, I should have done this ahead of time. So the animation looks a little different, a little bit more crisper and stuff like that. And so it's like, but that took more time. But had I had done that ahead of time, this edit would have been way smoother. So I would say make sure you do that as a way of doing it and stuff like that.
So for who would this be useful for in what situations?
I would say this is, in a way, this is more aesthetic.
Just for a better look?
It just and if you are a bigger channel or you have a bigger audience or whatever, and you're trying to I've upgraded because now I have 1 million followers or whatever. Cool. Like if you have, is that, and it's like, if that's what the look you're trying to look for and stuff like that, if you want to just look crisper, you want to you're evolving your content. That's one way of doing it. And it's not like you're buying red cameras and shooting on that.
We're not gonna get a red camera look, bro. Come on, man.
No, them files are. I am not Linus Tech Tips.
I mean,
I am not NKHG.
Remember, I was a Nikon bought red, so you can actually get a Nikon camera now and get the same.
Same
get that
kind of quality. Yeah,
that makes it look like it's shot on a red camera.
Oh, God.
Not saying that I'm gonna do that because I shoot on Sony, but still, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
if you're open to that, you can.
And I would preface all this with saying, make sure you have very fast storage. Okay.
Or work with proxies.
There is that too. So, we did record in the camera ProRes proxy, right? This will keep the file size down much, much smaller. Although I think it added up to both cameras 56 gigs or something like that, right? Not each, just together.
I'm so glad we did that server storage upgrade because good lord.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of storage.
We have a lot of storage.
And the funny enough, the version for, let me see if I open it up, for the laptop footage, it was less than a terabyte. I mean, a gig.
A terabyte. So it better be less than a terabyte.
It was less than a gig, right? So let me see here. If I look at episode, this part is not fun, but just to show you what I was talking about. So 4K capture. There we go. It's kind of hard to see, but
987.
I was wrong.
Megabytes. It's
right.
just about a gig.
That's the laptop. This is mine. Mine is 54 gigs, and yours is roughly 54. So
separate
100, yes. So I lied. Over 100 gigs of just footage, and that's just those two cameras. And this is proxy.
Whoa!
This is ProRes proxy.
Not even the full quality.
No, not even like LT or 444 or 422. These are all just different codecs and stuff like that. And the good thing I did with Blackmagic Raw, which would have been insane, but. You see, I have really fast storage, right? I have an NVMe SanDisk Pro Blade.
Oh, the
mags.
The mags that you like so much?
It's just right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see it, but it looks like this.
There it goes. Put it back to focus.
Yeah,
there you go. Focus.
So this is the transporter, and the mag is in here.
Yeah, don't pull it out yet.
Yeah, no, I can't pull this out because this is how you, and this is a 4 terabyte.
How much was that again?
So the 4 terabyte, if you get it on sale for like $3 something.
I mean, because when you get 4 terabytes of space and it's fast,
right?
I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think not on sale is like $500 or something like that. It's expensive, and then the transporter is $50.
Side note: did you know that I think SanDisk released a 2 terabyte SD card?
No,
it's on sale for $300.
Oh shit!
Didn't really say nothing, but it's compatible with like the mirrorless cameras and stuff.
Oh,
2 terabytes.
That's dope. That is dope.
I'm gonna buy one.
So with this thing we have read-write speeds up to 8K footage, sort of thing.
Wow.
And it's a 20 gig transfer cable.
Oh, that's why you're always uploading stuff so fast now.
Exactly. I could transfer stuff. Like literally these 2 cameras, it took less than a minute for each one to transfer 50-something gigs.
But this is you plugging directly into a server.
That's not even a server. I have to plug directly into the computer. So this particular computer has only Thunderbolt 4 connectors on it. So obviously the faster the better, So I would say make sure you have a lot of storage and make sure it's fast storage. Because even when I go and I edit at home, I have a hub that I plug in, and it's a direct NVMe over 40 gig connector that goes directly into my computer. So
just to recap, you said this is for bigger like content creators who probably like a few 100,000 followers to be like 1 million followers up and above to show that they've done their increase. But for smaller content creators, the whole thing is not necessary, right?
It's not necessary. It's I mean, unless if you got the budget, you got the space and time to do all this, go for it.
What about the other hack I remember I was telling you about that I heard that I've tried myself?
Oh, the upres?
Yeah, well, you take the 1080p footage, but then you tell YouTube it's 4K, and it gives you that extra bump in quality that's not quite 4K, but
right? It
just looks better. What do you think about that?
I would say go for it. Like, but again, you still need
the poor man's 4K,
right? You still need a processor that can handle, like, because even rendering this out took, instead of like. The 1080p version takes less than 5 minutes to render. This one took almost 20 minutes to render. But it took me 5 minutes to upload. But because you know what the final file size was for the whole episode? 18 gigs versus 3 gigs usually.
Can we compress that?
That is the compressed version.
Wait, like did you run that through Handbrake or something?
No, I did it through a media encoder.
I'm wondering what would happen if we take that file, the 18
and compress
file,
it
and send it through like the one I use, JPEG Mini. Remember that one too? That compresses video. So I wonder if that could like maybe even split that in half, like it did the other video I sent you earlier.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, and that's another thing. I'd be
curious
too.
to see if that would work.
That's another thing, compression and stuff like that. But like I said, even then, you still need a decently fast computer with a good processor and stuff like that, and storage. Like you just need, everything needs to be fast. Like this is like, if you got money to burn you want to,
if you want it to look good and you want it done fast, you're going to spend a lot of money.
A lot of money, right? Because if I were to like add everything up with everything that I have, right? Let's see, $4,000 laptop, $1,500 cameras with what? $500 lenses with another $1,500. And then this thing costs like $400. The audio interface, $400 mics.
Not even counting the software.
I'm not even counting the software, which is like $60 a month for that sort of thing. Autopod, another 50 Opus clips, which we haven't paid for yet, but that's another episode we really want to talk about. Like when I think
Opus clips is pretty good. That definitely does deserve its own episode.
Yeah.
How
and then using Descript and that's a whole other episode. We can do like a comparison.
Ooh, that's good. I like that.
And it's not the cheap. And plus, I have Verizon Fios, a gig up and down. That's 70. Well, I got a discount, so $70 a month.
Why the hell am I paying $100?
I don't know, but I'm saying it's like I mean, plus I also I have like Cat E7s and shit. I mean, which I apparently found out Cat E7 doesn't really matter. 6EA is better, but whatever. It's like all that added up, sure. And also, if you have tons of experience like I do, and then you know what the hell you're doing and stuff like that, then you can achieve the same thing. So it's a lot. There's a lot in talent, a lot in knowing how to use your equipment, and a lot in how to,
I think it comes down to work within your means, and
right.
You're not going to get the perfect look unless you're just sitting there really trying to spend that much money. But there are ways to get it to 80% of the way for what you need, because I think the average person won't really care about the final look of it as long as they absorb the value of your information.
Yeah,
and that your audio sounds good. Because we know viewers are very specific about their audio sounding good and crisp, which we do work on. But when it comes to video, if it's 1080, it's full HD. Let it rock.
Yeah, like I would say for the most part, I mean, a lot of companies, a lot of broadcasters, they broadcast in 1080p. Some of them don't even do 1080; they do 720 or 960. It's like, but yeah, so you have to be mindful. Be demure.
Stop it. You know what? I'm leaving. Goodbye. I'm getting off this episode. You just brought in that damn saying.
Yeah. So, and that's why this also goes back to our first episode. Why 4K is a bit hard to do when it comes, if you're trying to stream in that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You're fine. It's like don't do it unless somebody's paying you to do it. Put it that way. But anyway,
so thank you guys for tuning into this episode of where we rambled on from Black Ops to 4K to all sorts of things today.
Yeah.
If you want to check us out on other platforms, please, the links are going to be in the description below. Make sure you follow us, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the platform asks you to do to support the channel. If you have topics that you want us to talk about or review, please submit them. We don't bite.
Yeah. And check it out and whatnot. Like I said, podcasts available wherever podcasts are served.
All right. So we'll see you next one.
Peace.